Realtors, what are you doing out there?
Let's go!
Welcome back to another session of ICW International Championship Workshop, where we every single week talk about awesome stuff with awesome people. And today we have an awesome topic because we're here to kick some ass. More specifically, we're here to kick your ass. Because every now and then we need it, and we're seeing more and more in today's market that realtors, professional real estate sales agents are complaining more about having less money whilst they're not putting in more work or as much work as they used to. So it's a extremely passionate topic, and it's something that me and Jason, who's obviously here with me, see within our own organizations and our own groups with other real estate agents. Sometimes that it comes up that they're struggling to get by, they're not making the money that they'd like to be making, and then it comes down to the question, well, what are you doing about it? So, Jason, what are you doing about it?
Man, it's not about what I'm doing about it. It's what's happening with these agents. I love to help people, and I know you do the same, Ian.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where, hey, as a realtor, you need to dive deep and figure out what's going on. So here's where I am. I just need to kind of get this off my chest because uh, I want to create opportunity for people, and I can't give you everything in the world, but I'm going to help create as many opportunities as I can. And you, as a business owner, need to take that and run with it. I'm
Right.
not going to be able. I can't pump your legs. I can't say, "Hey, here's how you run." I can't
Yeah.
do that. But you have the power to be able to run. So what I'm talking about, so a couple, I've heard this year, realtors as a whole were down 30% over last year. So I get that we're feeling a little bit tight in the pocketbooks, right? But just like you asked, Ian, what are you doing? Are you sitting there and are you being Eeyore and are you being like, oh, woe is me and I can't figure this out? You got to stop that. You got to
Mhm.
get out there and do the hustle. If you're thinking, man, I hate doing videos, do videos. Man, I hate doing open houses, do open houses. Man, I don't want to door knock, go door knock. What's holding your financial backing back is you.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's the biggest piece. You have to get over your own ego. You have to get over your own mindset, and you have to get out there and do the things you don't want to do to make yourself happy, make your family happy, make your friends happy.
Yeah. 100%.
Bottom line, right?
You know, it's funny because I had a guy come to me recently. Um, he's he's known, he's kind of like in the world, in the real estate world within EXP, specifically here in Spain, as a mentor, coach, um, producer. And I know that he likes to maintain that image, and that's very important to him because you can just read people sometimes, right? I know that that's important to him, that EXP knows him and that everyone knows him. And I got a call from him the other day, and he's extremely upset and he's struggling. It's exactly what we're talking about. He's struggling to get by, and the worst part of it is that negativity feeds negativity, and it kind of goes
Yes.
into this cycle, and he thinks more and more about it, and then because that's where your focus is, it grows and it grows and it grows, and then all of a sudden your garden's full of weeds, and you're like, ah, shit, like what happened? And what I've discovered is that it's exactly what you just mentioned. He's so caught up on the social media posts about him, people talking about him, what he's going to do to try and help others with his coaching session this week, that he's just completely thrown out the window what's actually important to him and his family at this moment, which is producing and selling homes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it came down to. I kind of got angry with him, was like, listen, cut the bullshit, get outside and start selling some homes. Take the steps that you need to take that creates results in exactly what you need right now. You don't need more views on social media. You don't need more validation from the company or from the other agents in the company or even your own clients. What you need right now is to have some more money in the bank so that you're comfortable and secure, and then you can focus on everything else. And that's what it just comes down to. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been in that situation where
Sure.
I'm not producing, I don't have the income that I'd like to have. And then it gets to the point where you don't feel capable of doing it anymore. You don't feel like, oh, like I can't create the income that I want. Like, what's going on? And then you just play the victim, and it gets worse. Again, the
Yeah.
negative feedback loop happens. And yeah, every now and then it takes someone to come up and give you a big slap in the face and a hug at the same time,
Yeah.
and kick your ass into gear. That's exactly what needs to happen sometimes.
It does, man. And I mean, I think as we're facing quarter 4 now, it's that stuff that, hey, who's going to
Yeah.
come and slap you in the face, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
is it a true friend? You know, we all have colleagues in this business, and just like you said with your friend, you got a little upset, and you were able to tell him, hey, do this. Get
Right.
out there and go sell homes. You have to produce. Like, you were literally slapping him in the face to
Right.
stop worrying about that stuff. You know, and
Yeah.
that was, very similar to what I was thinking too. There's a couple people in my organization as well, and a couple senior partners as well I've talked to, not having the greatest years. And
Right.
again, I get it. This year it kind of took us by surprise. We start dropping 30% overall. We see our sales decline, but did our spend decline? Are we still going on vacations? Are we still going out to dinner? Are we still spending too much money and not adjusting to what is happening in the now? And that's why we're in this predicament, because people aren't adjusting. But what I was saying, so one of my friends in real estate, I know where he is. He's, kind of in that financial lull, and he's a little bit worried, really needs that next deal coming up. I get it. I've been there too. And so I have another colleague that just listed a $950,000 home here in Indiana. That's luxury, man. That's huge. And so I tell my buddy, I was like, hey, man, 900,000 listing. You want an open house? And he's just like, maybe. I was like, yeah, like, what are you doing telling me maybe? Like, dude, like, come on, like, here, silver platter, here you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Like, it's that stuff that I'm just like, man, what is going on, man? Come on, let's move this, let's go, let's make it happen. I want you to succeed. You got to go after it, you know? And,
Yeah.
he was asking me a couple questions that, and it just led me down the path of, I remember when I started, and my answer was always yes. My answer is yes. What's the question?
Right.
I'm going to do whatever it takes, whenever I have to do it to get to where I want to go.
That's it.
And so a lot of realtors, a lot of agents right now need that. You've got to go and get after everything you deserve.
Yeah.
If you want more for your family, go out and get it. Work harder right now. Be stronger right now. Just be awesome. Go dig deep. Think of things that you don't do, like I was saying earlier, and go do them. I think we've talked about before. What's that one thing that holds you back from greatness?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What have you been thinking about that? Man, maybe that would change my business. Go do it. Stop thinking about it and get out there and go do it. I'm doing YouTube videos, and when I was doing it 3 months ago, they were horrible. I took one class, I twisted the way I do YouTube videos, and they're taking off.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
great.
getting great feedback. The clients are loving them, agents are loving them. Yay! Now it still needs some work, but what you focus on expands. And so if you want business, focus on getting business, whether it's sellers, whether it's buyers, whether it's whoever, go get it. Ian, talk, my
Right.
man.
And what's really important about that also is that you don't get motivated to take action. You take action to get motivated, which I've also
Mm,
mentioned multiple times on this podcast. And that's exactly it. Once you're in motion, you can become unstoppable. You just don't know until you try. And there's no in between. You're either moving forward or you're going back, and going back is pretty much dying, whether it's your business or whatever. There's no plateau in between where you're just kind of stuck. It's forward or back. There's nothing else. There's no neutral here. So why not move forward? Do something, take action, and then you'll become motivated, which will lead to more. And then you'll go into the positive feedback loop rather than the negative one. You know, all it takes is a little shift in mindset, a little shift in your daily actions to snap out of one and come into the other. And I know that it's weird because, and we've had this experience. I know that I have, I know that you have, everyone has, and I think it's just because we're human beings and that's what happens. We know what we need to do. Everybody knows, like, I'm not making money, but I know that I'm not making the calls I should be making.
right.
But it's not until somebody tells us that we don't actually kind of take things take things into account and kind of realize and become aware, and we're like, oh, like shit, like I actually should be, let's do it, let's go. Like, you know, we know exactly what we need to do. We just don't do it. And this leads to another thing, which I think is extremely important and which we all have learned to do eventually at some point, I hope, and that is ask for help if you need it.
Mm,
If you find
yeah.
yourself in a rut or you find yourself going backwards, don't be afraid to actually reach out to someone, whether it's one of us, one of your friends, your partner, your senior partner, someone in your downline, or whoever it is. Just reach out for help, because that is you in motion. That is you taking action, which again will lead to more action and motivation,
I
which is
love it.
something, yeah,
No, excuse me. You're exactly right. Now, I would say when you reach out, I would reach out to somebody who does motivate you, to
right.
somebody who inspires you, because if you go kind of lateral and you're kind of, hey, oh, I'm kind of lost. I'm not sure. I'm not getting any sales. And yet he or she is right here. And now you've got two negatives, and
Yeah,
that could go the wrong direction, right? So reach out to people that, yeah, you really know motivate you, that are that positive energy in your way, and that are problem solvers,
yeah,
because you don't want to go to somebody and say, oh, Ian, I've got a problem, and Ian's going to say, oh yeah, I've got a problem too, and now we both have problems and we've got no solutions.
yeah,
Be solution based with it all and figure it out. And maybe, sometimes, just like you said, that picture gets really fuzzy, that big picture. So
yeah.
sometimes you got to hone it in a little bit more and say,
Mhm.
oh man, there it is. That's where I need to stop. All right, now let's go here. And then we stretch it. All right, cool. And then here's March, here's June next year, here's September next year, and then here goes December 2025, you know?
Right.
So,
That's it. And I'm reading a book at the moment, which is it's my Bible. It's my go-to book all the time, and I read it multiple times a year, every single year. It's called Psycho Cybernetics. Don't know if you've heard of it or read it, but I
mm,
recommend everybody read this book because it kind of talks about how our minds work and how we are the pilots of the ship, which is our mind. So although it is on autopilot most of the time, like we don't think about breathing, we don't think about how to pick up a pen if we want to pick up a pen. You know, there's so many muscles in motion, but we don't, consciously move each and every single one to exactly pick up that pen, from the table or whatever. It's all subconscious, but we are the one that tells it to do it in the first place. And it talks about these kind of automated systems that your mind has, and it compares it to like the autopilot on an airplane, or these guided missiles which like know
yeah.
exactly where to go and how they correct course. They
Mhm.
they they fail, see that they're off target, and they kind of correct themselves midair, and that's how you can get these missiles to hit exactly where they need to go. Um, our minds do a very similar thing, the issue is they're always heading towards something, whether you know it or not. So if you're thinking negatively and you're in a rut and you're complaining about not having the money, your mind's actually going to subconsciously move towards that kind of thing without you even knowing it.
Yeah.
So why not take the action and think of something positive that you can shift it towards? And it's obviously not like an overnight thing. You know, you're not gonna, it's not positive thinking where you're just gonna think positive and
Right.
your life will change. But it's a way deeper than that on a psychological level. And it's actually proven and tested. Read the book, I swear to God. It's the best book ever when it comes to this kind of thing. And it
Show it
creates the
again. Show it again for everybody, please.
yeah.
Awesome.
You see that okay? Maxwell
Uh,
Maltz,
yeah, right there.
Psycho-Cybernetics.
There you go. Go.
So, and what's really cool is the guy that wrote this book is a plastic surgeon. So he used to change people on the outside. And he realized that that wouldn't always fix them. And that
Yeah.
something needed to change on the inside. And all kind of came into the play with, you know, your self-image and the way you think about yourself, self-esteem. And it talks a lot about this automatic guidance system and how to change it from a negative feedback loop to a positive feedback loop. And
Love
that's
that.
that's it. That's honestly, if there's one thing you're ever going to take away from any of these ICWs, it's this. It's this book. And as I said, I read it multiple times. I've actually gifted it to multiple of my agents as well because I think it's that important that
Nice.
everybody. Yeah.
Well, and it's just like that where you're hitting about, that negativity, and it goes in correlation with what you focus on expands.
100%.
If you focus on negativity, that negativity is going to be expand. If you're going to focus on an empty bank account, that empty bank account is going to expand. If you focus on lavish, luxurious vacations, it's going to expand. If you focus on awesome listing appointments that you're going to get every one of them, they're going to happen. So I love that book. I'm going to have to check it out. I have not read it, but I'm going to add it to my list and definitely do
Yeah,
that
definitely.
too. So,
Definitely.
so yeah, Ian, you've given some great solutions. Surrounding yourself with the right people, asking for help. What a
Yes.
great solution to get over it. Check out that book. That's going to be awesome. Get your head straight, and it's going to be a lot of motivation here, you guys, as well. So. Ian, I know we just have a couple minutes, and I've got a video I want to show too. So I wanted to see, yeah, I love this topic, and I appreciate us doing this one because sometimes we all need that kick in the butt. And
Yep.
here we are, the ICW's kicking you all in the butt, saying, get out of your own way and
Yeah.
let's fricking go, right?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Because sometimes I'm not able to kick my own butt into gear. Well, we
Right.
need someone else to do it for us. That's what
Right.
we're here
And
for.
and you
So
and it's not fair to rely on a spouse to do it in this instance, especially when it's your business.
true.
It's one thing, you have your wife and kids, same with me. They're doing a lot of stuff that doesn't involve real estate. So we as business owner have to do our job and figure out how to kick ourselves in the butt, but sometimes you can't, just like you're saying. So again, sometimes that spouse isn't the answer because they may not understand what's going on in business. So be mindful of that too, you guys. And again, have a relationship with somebody like Ian and myself, other business partners, other colleagues. Again, the right who's around you. So love it, buddy.
And that's it. Remember that someone's already been through what you're going through before. So there's 100% somebody out there that can help you. There's no excuses. Start taking action. You know that you're not making the money you want to make because you're not making the calls, you're not doing the open houses, you're not handing out the flyers, you're not doing the marketing that you need to do, or you're not touching up on your sales, or you're not training enough. There's so many things that you could be doing step by step to
Yeah,
start taking action towards getting that motivation that you need to kick your butt into gear. So I'll leave you with that.
love it. Love it. All right, guys, I want to share this clip. This is Brent Gove, one of the guys that Ian and I both enjoy. We learn so much on a daily basis from this guy. And just the other day, he was sharing this. So I'm going to play this for you guys. And I hope you get a little bit out of it. Oops, hold on. Don't think I hit volume. Hold on.
Me, you really, really want the truth, you don't fail enough. You don't fail enough. You're just too busy trying to look good. You don't fail enough. And if you fail in a short period of time, you stop failing, you start winning. You fail enough to be freaking miserable. Stop it. Go be a man. Go work 18 hours tomorrow. Don't do it every day. But if you have financial issues, you don't deserve to watch TV. You don't deserve any freaking me time. You get out there and be a woman, be a man, go caveman, go cavewoman. Do what you got to do for your family. Oh, I might lose my car. Then get your ass out the door and get to work. Knock on doors. Do open houses. Do whatever you have to do. Come on, man. Wake up and realize. And you put that fire in the belly and you go do something. And all of a sudden you have street credibility, which my friend Jeff Willems has always said to me. And the reason he flew me out to Tucson for years and I trained his team, because I have street credibility. I've done walk the walk, not just talk the talk. I have suffered. I've done open houses where nobody came and it's depressing. I got on my knees and begged God, help me. Because I had to buy groceries and gas. I've been there when we didn't have grocery money and gas money. I've driven through tolls where they used to collect the money and I didn't have $5 to pay the toll and I barely had enough fumes to get home. I have been there. I've run out of gas because I didn't have enough fumes to get home. Man, I've been there. But I was willing to step up. What does Tony Robbins say? Step up. I'm so glad you guys are here today, but it's not today. It's next week. It's the week after that. And it's little bits and pieces that make you who you are. It's like a quilt. It's like a mosaic of your life. It's a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit there. And what Jeff Owens said here and what Matt Smith said here and what Britt Gove said here and what Stephen James said there and Alan.
I'm going to stop it there. But just awesome, man. So hopefully you guys all get a little bit more out of that. If you do want to see the entirety of that, we will add the link down below so you could go ahead and check that whole video out. It is inspiring. And that's just Brent Gove on any day, motivating and inspiring. So, man,
Right.
Ian, wrap us up, brother.
So we hope that we have somehow made something click in your head. And I hope that you are clicking onto Amazon to buy Psycho Cybernetics right now as you're listening to this. We're here every single week, a new episode of ICW International Championship Workshop, where I'm in Spain, Jason's in Indiana in the US. We come together to try and help whoever is listening, other agents that want it and that are looking for some high value content every single week. So we look forward to seeing you again, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.